and I am here today to talk about the Relationship Rescue 911 for Love. I want to first introduce myself. Again, my name is Tara Bruns. I am a relationship expert, and I help people through relationships, whether it be intimate relationships or parent-child relationships, siblings, in the employment arena with bosses, coworkers, that type of thing. And I've had a few careers over my lifetime. I've been a nurse, worked as, owned my catering company, been a broker owner of a real estate company, and through everything that I've done in my life, there's been one common thread, and that is helping people. It is my juice. It's my passion. It's what gets me out of bed in the morning and doesn't let me go to bed at night. And so I am here today to share this Relationship Rescue 911 for Love with you. And I just want to start with a couple of questions. Are you struggling in your marriage? Have you lost that fervor for each other, that hunger? Have you lost the communication and the closeness and the intimacy? Is the passion just gone? Are you just roommates? And how does that make you feel? Every day is a struggle. Like you just don't know where to turn. Well, I'm here to tell you that there is hope. There is an absolute 100% chance that you can get back to the day you fell in love. And you can look at each other the same way with even more love in your eyes based on the experiences that you've had together. And it can happen very quickly. And so there is hope out there for you. And maybe you are doing all right, but you want to rekindle that romance. You want to get the fires burning again. And I'm here to tell you that that's absolutely possible as well. I've worked with couples who came to me after 17 years of marriage, and you know, they were definitely in those doldrums. They felt more like roommates, and now the kids are starting to move out of the home, and they are almost scared to be alone with each other. And we brought them back to a very passionate, intimate relationship, and now they are happier than ever, ready to send the kids off to college so they can have the house to themselves. So that's very exciting, and that can happen for you as well. Another place that a lot of people struggle is a teen household. You know, we see the struggle between a parent and a teen, and the teen is just fighting against the family, maybe doing things that they shouldn't be doing, making bad choices, and we want to get them back to the place of being part of the cohesive family unit. And I'm here to tell you that you can have a cohesive family unit even with teenagers. So there's hope, right? Okay, cool. You know, in our world that we have created with all of the technology that we have, we are this society of instant gratification. I've got to have it now. I'm talking with a friend and we're talking about a movie and we can't remember who that actor was. And all you got to do is Google, and within 0.6 seconds, you know exactly what that actor's name was. Or you are feeling a little bit low in energy. Go through the drive-thru and bam, you got a hot caffeinated beverage or a cold caffeinated beverage in your hand in less than 5 minutes. Or we can text and phone call anyone around the world anytime, no matter where we're at or where they're at. So this instant gratification is something that we've all become very used to and almost expect. And so I am here today to talk to you about a few different elements and tips. I'm going to give you a couple tips and some exercises you can do to get more out of the relationships that you're in. And the very first one is tying into that instant gratification. It is changing your focus. And the first thing that I talk to people about when they come to me after we've had kind of an initial consultation, I know kind of where the problems are and where they want to be, and now we're, you know, getting down to the root of the problems or issues. The first thing that I work on is state and their focus, because what we focus on grows. And so when we focus on negatives and the problems and the issues and the challenges and the, not enough time, money, resources, whatever it might be, that tends to grow. And so I am here to talk to you about focusing on you. Yes, on you. Because at the end of the day, we can control certain aspects, we can control certain things with respect to our children, our spouses, our employer, our coworkers. We can puppet on a string a little bit, but there are definitely things that we just cannot control. The only person we truly can control is right here. It's you. It's me. And so I want to take you through an exercise. I want you to think of a time when you maybe showed love, you tried sharing about your day with your spouse, or maybe you tried to help a child, one of your children, or maybe it was you planned a dinner for friends, or you actually cooked the dinner for friends, maybe a sick friend, and so you wanted to show your love and friendship by doing this for them. Or maybe in the job that you have, you took on a project and just blew it out of the park, just absolutely took it to the level 10 plus, and you didn't feel the love from your spouse reciprocated back to you, or the friend didn't thank you, or the boss didn't give you that attaboy, attagirl, or any acknowledgement really at all. And how did that make you feel? Really think about that time and how it made you feel. Did you feel unloved, unappreciated, undervalued? Now, what if I told you that it is 100% possible that you could have felt love in all of those scenarios and appreciation? So instead of only feeling the love when it's returned back to us, getting ourselves in this mindset that when we give the love, when we give the friendship, when we do the job, that is when we feel the love, the friendship, the admiration, the honor of ourselves for knowing that we're going to do a good job. And when we can do that, number one, it's instant gratification. I love you, I'm giving to you, I'm sharing with you, and I'm going to feel it right here and right now. And when you do that, you are taking that control back. You're controlling your own happiness. And isn't that the kind of the bottom line? We all want to be happy, right? So by taking back control of that, you now control your emotions. You control your happiness. And you get to feel the love when you give the love. If it does get reciprocated, obviously that's just the cherry on top of the sundae. So get your mind wrapped around this. So what I want you to do is close your eyes. If you're driving, please don't do this exercise right now. Wait till you get home. But just close your eyes and think about a time, a conversation you had, or maybe a favor that you did, or maybe it's a wedding gift that you bought for somebody close to you and you didn't get a thank you note, or maybe a job that you did really well and you didn't get that appreciation for. So I want you to remember that in your mind right now. Just go back to that moment. Think about what you were wearing. What was the other person wearing? Where were you? What were the thoughts going on in your head? Were you quiet mind and very present with them? Or did you have things on your mind like the shopping, the dry cleaning that needs picked up, the orthodontic appointment, soccer practice, whatever it might be? Or was the other person very frazzled? Were they stressed about something at work, or stressed about a conversation they had just had, or maybe something that happened at work for them is bugging or was bugging them? Think about what you were there other people around? Was it a very distracted kind of environment, or were you in a quiet place? What were you smelling? What were you seeing? What were you hearing? And think back to that conversation or that act of kindness, that act of love that you gave that wasn't reciprocated. Or in the job, what was the work circumstance? What was the work environment like when you completed that project and your boss didn't acknowledge you had done such a great job? Really think about that and think about how it made you feel. Like I said, you probably felt unloved, undervalued, unappreciated, maybe like you weren't worthy of their love. So then maybe you got a little offended and felt very hurt. Now I want you to play that little scene again, play that conversation or that act again. And this time, I want you to feel that love and feel that gratitude, feel that friendship, feel the honor inside yourself, feel that atta-girl, atta-boy right inside yourself when you do the job. And really, really, really feel that. Just get in touch with that. I know this sounds a little crazy and it's a little out there, but you know what? When we step outside of our comfort zone, that's when we grow. So do this with me, please. So now you have gone through and you are the one in control of those emotions. You are feeling the love as you give it, as you share with your spouse, as you gave them that hugging kiss, as you talked with your teenager, as you completed that job at work. You felt those feelings of gratification in yourself. That feels a whole lot better, doesn't it? So there you go. There's your first tip and your first little exercise. I'm sure you did a great job. If you were driving, as I said, just save it for later, but definitely do it. And I will do this anytime that something has not gone exactly as I'd liked it to go. I would replay it in my mind the way I wanted it to go and feel those feelings and really get in touch with that. And that way, the next time that scenario comes up, it's more likely that it's going to go my way. So next, I want to talk about. So we've kind of gone through this instant gratification. We've gotten you to a place where you now get to control what you're feeling and how you feel love. So I want to start by talking about when people come to me, and whether it would be at an event that I'm doing, or maybe it's just a meeting and, you know, I've gotten up and explained kind of what I do and they come to me after the meeting, or it might be at my church or at a friend's house. You know, they'll be talking about, hey, you know, Tara works with couples and, you know, things between you and Bill aren't so good right now. And so they'll come to me and they'll say things like, you know, we've been married for 10 years now and I don't feel like he loves me anymore. He doesn't pay attention to me. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't share with me. He doesn't tell me how he's feeling. Or maybe it's a man. I get a lot of men that come to me and say, you know, I screwed up. I have been ignoring her. I've been throwing myself into work. I've been just kind of neglecting her and she's not happy. And because she wasn't happy, I throw myself into the work or, you know, that outside stimulation. And how do I bring things back? And I tell them, first and foremost, it's absolutely possible that we can get you back to that very, the feelings of your wedding day. And, you know, the romantic excitement and intimacy and passion that you felt that day can be the path for your life. Every single day can be your wedding day. And so when I talk to people, one of the first questions that I will ask is, are your needs being met? And usually they'll say, no. Well, kind of, sort of. Okay. Are you meeting your spouse's needs? Are you meeting your partner's needs? Well, I'm doing the best I can. Geez, I've got work, I've got the kids, I've got this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, what do you expect from me? Okay, fair enough. But if you're not meeting each other's needs, then that's where I come in and I can help break some old patterns that you've developed over the years, and we can really get to a place of just understanding each other and giving each other a little slack, but also encouragement and kind of helping them, especially women. Men, no offense, but when it comes to this stuff, you're just, you know, knock, knock, nobody's home. We have to tell them exactly what we want and need. And sometimes we have to do that repeatedly. It's not that they don't care, they just don't know how to do it. So that's something I go into in a lot of detail in the program, but now I will kind of explain to you what these, the 6 needs are. We believe that we all have 6 human needs, and the first 4 have to be met for you just to survive. And they are, the first need is for certainty. We all have to know that we have a roof over our head, that we have food to eat, that we have a job to go to, that we are supported and loved by our spouse and by our family. And, you know, we have to have certain things. Some of us need much more certainty than others, and that can be a real bone of contention. It can cause issues. The second need is for uncertainty. We need variety. We need, you know, variety is the spice of life, right? So we need the uncertainty. We need those challenges that come up in life to keep our pulse, you know, to keep us going, to keep us juiced and keep us on our toes. And Anthony Robbins is the father of the strategic intervention, which is the coaching practice that I use in my practice. It's the way that I help people. And he has a phenomenal saying that I just absolutely love, and I have kind of taken this on as the mantra of my life, and I will share it with you now. The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. So if you really think about that, it makes complete sense. The more challenges that get thrown at us that we can handle and, you know, just kind of, yeah, bring it on, hit me again, the more of that you can take, the better and happier your life is going to be, because there's nothing that can be thrown at you that you can't deal with and that you can't find happiness and joy in. So take that, digest it, and use that in your life, and maybe just repeat it to yourself a number of times. Uncertainty, I need uncertainty, I need this uncertainty. Because I know a lot of people who are very structured. Their day from morning until nighttime, every minute is structured and scheduled, and they know where they're going and what they're doing and who's doing it with them. And that is a recipe for disaster. In this day and age of that instant gratification, of the phone being able to ring at any moment and somebody needing you to change your plans and come and help them out in some way, you know, that can cause real issues for someone who is so structured and so so certain about every aspect of their life. So uncertainty. The third need is for significance. And this one I see all the time when I go into a parent-teen situation to help that relationship, because we all need significance. We all need to feel that we're important, that we're valued, that we matter. And the teen especially is going through a lot of hormonal changes, and they're also dealing with being told what to do by their parents, being told what to do by their teachers, being told what to do by their peers, whether that be positive or negative influences. They're just being bombarded with everyone telling them what to do, and they don't know who they are. They don't know where they belong. Where am I significant? And so when I come in and talk with and help parents and teens, that's the number one thing that I see, is that there's that significance struggle. And so that's something that we will work on as well. And then the fourth need is for love and connection. We all need to feel loved, and a lot of people in like a depressed state will settle for connection. And that is, it's very sad. They will go into their depressed state because that allows them to connect with themselves, to show themselves love, and to, you know, kind of swaddle themselves. And it also usually will bring in other people's connection and love and, you know, sympathy and empathy and help and love and connection from other people around them. So you can use, you can get the love and connection in positive ways or in negative ways, and not necessarily negative, but definitely not empowering. That's a very disempowering way of getting love and connection through a depression state. So I, again, will come in a depressed situation, and we'll break some patterns, we'll get their focus changed, we'll jog their state, and pretty soon they are out of that depression, and they never have to go back into that depression, because we get them on the path to getting their need met in a much more empowering and positive way. So those are the 4 needs of the human being that have to be met in order for us to survive. The other 2 needs are the needs of the spirit, and the first one is growth. We all need to feel like we're growing. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? So whether this be in a physical way, you're working on your health and fitness, or you are self-improvement. You're always reading books and trying to expand your mind and make yourself a better person, or maybe it's in your career. You're constantly reading and doing webinars and absorbing as much information as you can, seminars and all that type of thing, to try and grow in your professional life. We all have that need for growth. And then the last need is for contribution. We all have to give beyond ourselves. We need to feel like we made a mark on the world, we were here for a purpose, and we fulfilled that purpose. Whether that be in nonprofit organizations or even just within our own family, we feel like we contribute. We are here for a reason. We're not here just to take. We're here to give, and we're here to contribute to the family. So those are the 6 human needs. And if they're not met in a marriage, and they need to be met not only by the family, excuse me, and by your work and all of that, but they need to be met intimately. They need to be met by your partner. And, going back to certainty, if you are certain in your relationship, it allows you to then play with uncertainty and variety, and to bring in, that spice. If you're not so certain about your relationship, it can cause you to close yourself off and push the other person away, which of course is only going to make things worse. So the very first thing that I do with a couple is we sit down and we evaluate those needs, how they're being met, how they're not being met, and really look at that and get really, really clear and really, really dirt honest about what needs to change right then and there. And I don't know if you know this fable, but I'm just going to tell this little story right now. There's a fable about an old mule. And this old mule is, like 30 years old, 25 years old, whatever he is. And this farmer has had him his whole life. And this mule is just, he's worthless now. And the silly thing walks over to an abandoned well, and he falls in. And now the farmer comes out and he goes, oh, geez. The mule fell into the well, and what am I going to do? I'm just going to bury him. He's almost dead anyway. He's of no use to me. I'm going to bury him. So he grabs a shovel and he starts shoveling in the dirt. And the mule is down there going, what am I going to do? I'm going to be buried alive. I have no intention of dying yet. And so as every shovel of dirt comes down, the mule climbs on top. And so as the dirt keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher, pretty soon it's up to the top, and of course the mule emerges. And the farmer just stands there in complete awe because this mule has used all of that, all of those negative consequences to create a very positive consequence. He got out. So I want you to take that fable and think about that and maybe share it with your kids. It's a great story, and I just love the underlying lesson of turning something that could be very negative and completely destructive into something very positive. So next I'd like to talk about caregiving. And in families, especially in this economic climate, we're seeing families kind of come together and generations are combining into a household. you might have children, parents, and grandparents living in the same house, and or it might be maybe a spouse or one of the adults in the house has had a debilitating stroke or an illness that has just rendered them, 100% dependent on other people to meet their needs. And this creates, lots of added stress to a household, to a couple, huge time commitments and issues that need to be dealt with. And not only are there a ton of those emotions and issues within the caregiver, but also with the cared for. And realizing that they have gone from a place, especially in the case of maybe a parent or even a spouse, they have gone from a place of independence and power and, helping their family to being completely dependent on someone else. And they've lost their independence, they've lost their dignity a lot of times, and realizing and trying to come from a heartfelt understanding and just really understanding and honoring that person for what they were and for what they contributed to the family, to the community, to the world, and trying to keep the lines of communication open if that's possible. And if not, then you've got to have the support of the family in that caregiving situation. And a lot of times it's the child of, if it's a parent situation, it's the child of those parents that feels that they need to do the most of the caregiving usually. So you as the spouse of the caregiver can really take this as a challenge and take this as your opportunity to really shine, or you can use it as an opportunity to create destruction in your marriage. I am a very positive person. I want you to create, those positives. So thinking about what it is that you could do for that caregiver. It might not be caring for that other person, but it could be caring for the things around the house, doing some housework, doing the shopping, picking up the dry cleaning, making sure the kids get to the orthodontist in their football practice, and doing all those types of things, getting their car gassed up and washed and maintained for them. Maybe even hiring somebody to come in for an afternoon and giving that caregiver a 3-hour mini spa day, or sending them to a hotel for the night if that's at all possible. And just really, really honoring them and showing them that they're not in this alone, that you are there supporting them and loving them in every way that you possibly can. So that's a little bit about the caregiver. And I do work with quite a few caregivers. So if you are in that place, know that you're not alone. If you are interested in a caregiver group, I am looking to start one of those, and it can be virtual like we're doing here, or it could be in person. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and send me an email. You'll see the information for that at the end of this little presentation. So now I get to talk about my soldiers. And anyone who knows me knows that I have a huge soft spot in my heart for our military, for the soldiers, for our veterans, for anyone who has served this wonderful country that we get to call home. And so to you, from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my family's heart, I want to thank you. Thank you for your selfless sacrifices, your giving way above and beyond yourself. And for that, I honor you. So thank you. I work with, because I do have that soft spot, I work with military families, and one of the biggest issues that I see is the soldiers, after they're coming back from being overseas, they're dealing with PTSD, and that's post-traumatic stress disorder. And when they come back, they can be very kind of disenfranchised from the family unit. They can feel like they're a country all to themselves. They can feel you know, like they don't belong there, and they're kind of a burden, and almost like they're an intruder on the family, depending on how long they've been gone. I've worked with soldiers who were gone for 6 months, and I've worked with ones that have been gone, you know, they did 4 and 5 tours, and that to me is, it's just wrong. I don't think they should be allowed to be over there that long, but it is what it is. And so when they come to me with PTSD, oh, and by the way, PTSD is not something that only soldiers suffer from. I have seen PTSD in people who had extremely traumatic, abusive childhoods. I've seen it in women who have been brutally raped. I have seen it in people who maybe witnessed a family member or a good friend being brutally murdered, or, you know, going through a very bad death. And so PTSD is not, you know, the military doesn't have all the rights to the PTSD. It happens to just about anybody. And so I actually, with a colleague of mine, Tom Eng, thank you, Tom, he has developed this wonderful exercise, this kind of, I guess you call it an exercise. It's a modality of using NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, and some touch, and we are able to use this with people who are suffering with PTSD by recognizing their triggers and using the NLP and these touch triggers to stop the episode from happening. And so if you are someone who has suffered or is suffering with PTSD, I would love to work with you and see if we couldn't make your life a whole lot better by getting rid of that PTSD and blowing it up. So reach out to me if that is something that you're interested in. Okay, so we've kind of gone through the military thing, you know, working with them and matriculating back into mainstream society and helping them get back into the family unit is very important, obviously, both with the spouse, the wife or husband, whichever one, you know, has been here, and also with the whole family unit. Being back in the church and being back, having to go out and find a new career if they have now retired from the service. That can be a daunting task, and so I love helping in any way that I can. So if I can be of any assistance to you in that realm, definitely reach out to me as well. I have a lot of resources to help you matriculate back into mainstream society. So now I want to take you through another exercise. So I want you to close your eyes. And this time you're going to envision a white light, a soft white light right over your head. And this light is now going to permeate into your head and fill your head with this white, warm light. And this light is love and joy, gratitude, abundance, and passion. Feel this light go down through your head and into your neck and through your arms and out your fingers, down your chest, into your abdomen, and down into your legs, and out your feet. Now see this light entering into a bubble that has surrounded you. And this bubble is filled with this white light of love and joy, gratitude, abundance, and passion. Now see that light enveloping the entire room that you are in. Every corner is filled with this light. Every creature, person, any living thing in that room is filled with this light. Now see that light permeate the entire house or apartment building. Every corner, every living being is surrounded in this white light. Now see that light envelop your entire city. The light of love and joy, gratitude, abundance, and passion. Now see that light permeate the whole nation, all your country, and the whole nation. Now see that white light envelop the entire world. Every creature, every being, every corner of every place is completely covered in the light of love and joy, gratitude, abundance, and passion. And just feel that calm, feel that love, feel that light. Now I want you to think about your spouse, or that child, or that coworker that you've maybe had a negative interaction with, and just see them filled with this light of love and joy coming from you. And it's you giving them that love and joy, you giving them forgiveness, you giving them gratitude for everything that they've brought to you, you giving them abundance so that they can be abundantly happy, and you giving them passion for life, and passion for you, and passion for the relationship that you have with them. That's an exercise that I do every morning before I get out of bed. The first 3 or 4 minutes, 2-3 minutes, whatever time I have, I just lie there and allow this light to envelop me and envelop my bubble and envelop my room and envelop the house and envelop my city and envelop my country and then the entire world. And it really helps when, say, I had a situation yesterday that maybe didn't go the way that I wanted to, and I've got a little negative feeling about a person that I had an interaction with. And by bringing that light to them, I am giving them my forgiveness. I am saying, you know what, we're all human, we make mistakes. I know you didn't intend to hurt me, and I forgive you. And it is such a great release when we forgive someone who has wronged us. Because, you know, there's a famous saying, not forgiving someone, including yourself, not forgiving someone is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You know, it's just not going to happen. So give that forgiveness, because number one, you're giving that gift to you. You're giving yourself that freedom to not worry about that anymore and to be happy. Okay, so we have wrapped up everything that I wanted to talk to you about today. And now I want to kind of describe what the Relationship Rescue 911 for Love program is and how you can get involved. So it is going to be a call like this. It will be 100% interactive. The technology gods will be smiling on me, and we will get that little bug taken care of. And so it'll be interactive. And so I will do about 30 minutes of presentation of information, and then we'll do an exercise, because I fully believe that you got to get out of your comfort zone in order to learn and grow. And also, when we get it in our physiology, that's when we really get it and we really live it. So I can preach all day, you can take notes, but until you really get it in here, you're not going to get it, and it's not going to last. So we're going to do some exercises, maybe quizzes and evaluations and things like that, and then I'll open it up to discussion and questions and answers. And then in about a week, you'll get an article or an excerpt or writing about what we're going to talk about the following week, and then that will maybe have quizzes or evaluations or something fun that you can do as a couple, or maybe it's a family exercise or an exercise with coworkers, or, you know, some creative game type things that you can do there. And so then we'll have the next call that next week. So calls every 2 weeks for 12 calls, so 24 weeks. So it's about 6 months. And You will get tons and tons of great content, I promise. We'll talk about Gary Chapman's 5 love languages. We will talk about passion patterns and how to exploit those and to create new passion patterns in your marriage. And even passion patterns with your children, and how you can really maximize the time spent and the energy and the effort that you put into this parent-child relationship. We'll also talk about the 7 master skills, and we'll spend about 4 weeks on that topic because it's really, really important, and it's good stuff, I promise. You'll love the games, you'll love every part of that. And then we'll also talk about the 10 disciplines of love, and we'll spend at least 4 weeks on that, and just really getting you 100% on board with the disciplines of love. And once you learn these disciplines, that's when, you know, you kind of unlock that lock. It's the key to rekindling the romance, bringing back the intimacy and the passion in your relationship. And again, you'll see that it's not just for the romantic couple, it's also for the parent-child, and it's also for every relationship that you have in your world. So I'm really excited about the program. And if you'd like to get involved, you can send an email to me. It's Terra, T-E-R-R-A, at gratitudeabundancepassion.com. That's gratitudeabundancepassion.com. Or you can go to the website, which is gratitudeabundancepassion.com. And you can, there's a place in the coaching where you can go down to relationship coaching and just click on any one of those. It says contact me or consult us or something like that. Just go ahead and click on that, fill out the information, and then I will be back in contact with you about how to get you started in the program. We will start in September, so it's right around the corner. And one of the things that I do intensives. So right now my coaching is, I work with couples in a strategic intervention way. So we don't necessarily take weeks, months, years to get results. I do intensives. So it might be a 1-day, 14 hours of intense, hard-hitting, getting to the root of the issues and dealing with them and changing patterns and all that kind of thing. Or it might be a weekend intensive where we spend almost 50 hours together and we are knocking out physical and spiritual and emotional and financial and relational issues. And those are great. And if that's something that you're interested in, I love doing them, and I would love to do one with you or your family, you and your family, you and your spouse. Those can be adapted to just about any relationship. The issue is they're intensive, and they are cost intensive as well. A 1-day is $5,000. A weekend is $10,000. And that's just not within the grasp of a lot of people in this economic climate. So I brainstormed and figured out a way to bring all of this same wonderful content to the masses. And so I am opening up a group program whereby I will be here and we will be interactive, and I will give all the same content and we'll do all the same exercises, but we'll do it on a group scale so that the price is not anywhere near what it is for that one-on-one or one-on-two. So a one-time payment of $9.97, and that's for the full 6 months. It's for all of the information, everything that you're going to get, all of the downloads and all the content, 24/7 constant email access to me. And I guarantee you that at the end of that 6 months, you will have a transformed relationship. So I thought, okay, that's great. I can I can really offer this to a lot of people. And then I thought, I could probably do even better. I could bring it to even more people if I could offer a payment plan, because some people, even that $9.97 is just beyond the reach, because they've got kids, they've got family obligations. And so I am very happy to offer a 6-payment plan. So you have 6 payments of $197, and you get everything that everyone else is getting. It is a commitment. You know, we do expect you to stick it through to the end, because you are going to grow. You are going to unveil this beautiful romantic relationship that you have been starving for your whole life. And again, you'll know how to put these same principles into practice with your children and your coworkers and the other people that you have relationships with. So I hope that you will either email me or go to the website and click on that Contact Us page, and we will get you enrolled. As I said, you'll get your first email in just a couple weeks here, because we're getting ready to roll this out. We want to, you know, get you started on the path to that romantic relationship being a wedding day every single day. And so I am done with my presentation now, and I wish for you a life full of gratitude, abundance, and passion. Thank you.